Well, we're switching gears here to dating. And what if your child wants to date? What do? I'm kind of in that boat. I have a 13-year-old, but discussing relationships and dating with your tween or teen, that can be uncomfortable. So how do you bring it up? And how do you talk about it before they start dating? 8 on Your Side has answers. And joining me now with those answers from Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine is Angela Ardolino. So thanks so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
This is a tough subject. And my 13-year-old's a boy, so he's like, I'll talk to Dad. That's his answer. I'll talk to Dad. And I'm like, wait, you should talk to me.
They should talk to both parents. But you said the magic thing when you were introducing that is that you need to talk to them before they're interested in dating. And because otherwise, it's now time for them to go out and dating, and then you have to catch them up. You need to make sure they know the boundaries and limitations. You need to understand the rules. You need to understand, there's so much. So talk to them before it's time for them to date.
So when do you have that talk? Because I think it's really all over the map these days with when kids are feeling like they have a relationship. We know it's something very minimal in the early years, but...
Well, they usually start going out, or an appropriate age is when they're in middle school. And that's when it's pretty innocent. Most of the times, I would wait till they're about 16 before you should consider dating. But you know what? Every child is different. You know your child best. Are they mature enough to be in a relationship? Do they take care of themselves? Do they participate in chores at home? How do they handle, you know, big crises? Do they break down and cry? How do they handle emotional problems and things like that? You know whether they're ready or not.
I like it. If you can't mow the lawn, you can't date.
Right.
Can't do
you
dishes.
Can't take care of yourself. You certainly can't spend time. But you know what? Invite them over. Invite whoever they're interested in. Get to know the other family and the other, the other kid that's involved, so that you can see how your own child interacts with them, because that's an eye-opener. I mean, and that's a great way to have a conversation. I remember with my own, I was like, I noticed he was trying to kiss you and you didn't really seem like you wanted to.
Right.
And that's because I observed it. And I'm like, do you want to kiss him? No.
No. Good conversation to have, right?
You don't have to if you don't want to. You don't have to do any of those things.
How do you handle the cell phone part of it?
The cell phone. That was also another lesson, is that at my house, we learned to put the phones, the chargers, everybody put it in the kitchen, so that the cell phone didn't make it into the room at night, because you could go into that teenager's room at 2 in the morning and she's under her covers texting her boyfriend.
Not good.
So you really do need to set the limitations and boundaries with the cell phone. What time do you get home? Where do you go? Who do you talk to? Is there another adult at the house if you're going over the other person's house? Those types of things.
Oh, no wonder this conversation's so important.
But 90% of teens say, this is a national study that was done, 90% of teens said they would feel better talking to their parents about things that go on, and they would stay away from sexual activity if their parents were open enough to talk to them
about it.
So they're more scared than you.
90%.
90%.
Great information, especially around Valentine's.